But this one specifically, I got into. It's because of Kratos. It's because, like, honestly, I bought PS5 for this game. I'm joined by Ash. Come, man. Come join in, man. Yeah, man. So sit next to me. Ash is joining, guys. Yusuf, I don't know if you've even met Ash. Come.
I think I've seen him on the channel once.
Yeah. Meet Yusuf, bro. Ash.
Yeah.
Ash.
Hey, assalamu alaikum, bro.
Oh, walaikum salam, bro. You good? Yeah, I'll go all best, bro. Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Sorry, I just finished like the gym and I just finished eating and stuff. So
It's calm.
yeah, just trying to stay fit, trying to keep up with him.
I like that, man. Me too.
Well,
Okay, nice.
He's been doing a lot of MMA and training. He's been doing striking for a while, but he's just got into grappling and stuff as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still like a noob. I get tapped out every session I'm there, bro. It's like six times a week, bro. I'm getting tapped.
Don't worry, man. I get tapped out every session as well. Don't worry, but that's just the whole point of learning. You're always gonna get tapped out.
I just noticed, yeah, you got the Kingdom Hearts Keyblade. I'm jealous.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
jealous, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm jealous. That looks sick.
Yeah, I got this at Comic-Con like years ago. So yeah, it's one of my favorite games.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of my favorite. I think.
Yeah, Ash is more of a gamer. I mean, I feel like this conversation is gonna be more you guys than it is me.
Yeah. 1 and 2 was great, man. Number 3 was okay, but 1 and 2 was probably the best for me.
Yeah, I'll go with that as well. Yeah, the timeline's so messy with Kingdom Hearts. It's so jarring, but yeah, the combat's fun. It's
Combat's
really
fun, yeah. I did like what they did with number 3 as well, actually. They changed up a bit. It kind of had me like a bit bored at times.
It was very underwhelming. Like, I know we waited about 12 years.
Yeah, exactly. You wait 12 years.
Yeah.
And...
Get a feel of like what kind of gamers are you? What are your favorite games in general? Like both of you, like favorite consoles, favorite characters, favorite.
Consoles. I got PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, sorry, Nintendo Switch. I got a Steam Deck now.
Me, I've just been a PlayStation guy, bro. I literally bought PlayStation 5 for God of War. So in regards to my favorite game, it's God of War.
And Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima, I played it on PS4, so I will get that.
PS4.
Metal Gear Solid is up there, yes. It's just patience. You need a lot of patience for that game and time. I will buy Tekken when it comes out. Specifically, I'll say my favorite game in the moment right now, God of War.
Fair choice. I'm pretty much an all-rounder, so I pretty much grew up playing all consoles. Outside of like the Sega stuff. My first console was a GameCube. Like Nintendo's like my comfort place. So I love Mario, I love Zelda, I love like Pokemon and stuff. And then the PS2 and Xbox, grew up playing Halo, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy. I'm going blank now. But like right now, like Sony, the PS4, PS5, that era just dominated it for me. I love it. God of War, Metal Gear Solid, the Infamous series, the Spider-Man, Insomniac games. Uncharted, yes, that's like top 5 for me. The Arkham series. I haven't the Assassin's Creed up to
Origins.
Black Flag. I stopped.
Oh, okay.
Unity was my last game. I was like, I'm done. I'm tapping out.
I stopped at Origins. I skipped Odyssey because that was way too long. I had no interest in the character himself. And then what's the latest one? I bought Mirage. I'm playing Mirage at the moment.
I heard Mirage is good because it's like a throwback to like the first game.
Yes, 100%. You know what? It reminds you of the first game, Altair. It's based in Baghdad. It's so much more fun, like being back in Baghdad and the city itself. It's your playground, and that's where it all started from. Where when it started coming into Unity and Origins was okay actually. Origins was the one based in Egypt. I like that, but most of them just started going downhill for me.
They became less like Assassin's Creed games and more like just fantasy history games.
Fantasy history games. Yeah. I didn't like the fact they changed the fighting combat, the combat system. They should have left it as personally as it was before.
Like parry, just parry, counter.
Parry, yeah. I think the best one was Connor, Assassin's Creed 3. And for me, it's probably one of my favorite characters. A lot of people didn't like him, but I loved Connor with the bow and arrow, the tomahawk. He's a dark rope. I really enjoyed number 3 the most, man, because
interesting. That's the first.
Yeah. Okay, Ezio's the man. Ezio's like the dude, but Connor for me, like being Native American as well, I think that was a bit more closer to home because us being bad. But
not like we're Native American.
But not when we're Native American. But he was such a cool character, man.
I swear Altair is more closer to us than Native American.
Yeah, probably is. Yeah, Altair is. But Mirage is good. It is good, man. But I got so many games, I can't keep up. I keep buying, and it just stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks.
No, same, bro. I'm in the same position ever since COVID. Like I had a discussion with this with a friend. It was like back in the day, let's say pre PS3, There used to be like a blockbuster game every like 3 months.
Yeah.
But now there's like 3 blockbuster games every month.
Every month you're on PSN, right?
Yeah, so it's so hard to like keep up.
It's hard to keep up, man.
Like to this day, I haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2 yet.
No way.
Yeah. Bro,
That's
I keep putting it off because it's like a 50-hour plus story.
You know what? They just announced. No, not announced. I read something. Apparently, part 3 may be coming out soon. But they talks. So you need to...
Okay, fair. Oh, I'm guessing post GTA 6.
I reckon it'll be another couple years before Red Dead Redemption 3 actually comes out. Look, we've been waiting for GTA 6 for how many years now? Rockstar really know how to make people wait.
No, but the games are bangers though, so I don't mind. I'm patient. There's too many games anyway.
Yeah, they put a lot of detail in it. Now, when they do a GTA, they take it to the next level, right? In this one, apparently, you're gonna go through seasons. You can age and all this sort of stuff. That they really try to touch on every sort of base and give you so much to do in those games. That's probably why they take so long. And with this new gen console, think about this, man. Like this one's gonna be sick. Because imagine like how they just keep improving it. Like it's gonna be mad.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, you got listen. Maybe this ain't a God of War review. Maybe this is just a podcast of video games.
Yeah,
we'll talk about God of War and whatnot. You guys, like I said, you guys play way more. I just don't have the patience. I used to be. Look, I'm expressing my vulnerabilities here. I used to go crazy over video games. Fuck this game.
Dude,
and I used to go crazy and.
There was that Jackie Chan game on the PS1.
Oh god, do you remember that one?
It's called Jackie Chan's First Strike. Anyway, he got so angry he snapped the disc in half.
That's the one of those games that pushed me to my limit and I broke it. It wasn't even mine. I borrowed it from a friend. Do you remember?
Yeah,
I had to go buy him a new one. I think I got to a point in my life where obviously you get busy and stuff, work and trading and all that sort of stuff. But I just was like, I got to step away because it's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
But now I'm like I said, I'm very selective with video games. So in Singapore, when I was there for 4 years, I think it was all Ghost of Tsushima. So it took me 4 years to complete Ghost of Tsushima. I think before that, God of War 4 came out, right? That was PS4, right?
What
was first?
They call it God of War.
Okay,
God of War,
yeah.
Okay, so I think I done God of War, and then once I finished with that took me 4 years to complete. Then I went on to Ghost of Tsushima, again took me 4 years to complete. Then I only bought the PS5 for God of War Ragnarok. And I was talking to you on the podcast when we were doing a fight talk. It was because of Kratos. Like these games nowadays, especially with him, I'm invested in him as a character. Now, I'll use an example. When I watched 24 back in the days with Jack Bauer, what's his name?
Kiefer
Sutherland. Yeah.
I was so invested. I remember like 20, what was it? How many seasons was it, man?
24?
No, was it 20? No, it wasn't 24 seasons.
Wait, doesn't he voice Big Boss?
Big Boss, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think for the new Metal Gear, by the way, he's going to do. They're going back to David Hayter. I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got him back. Yeah, I believe so. Anyway, I was so invested in his character. When the season finished, I felt lost, like emotionally, right? And that's the same feeling I had with Kratos, which is why the only reason why I bought 5 was for that game. And I will buy other games with that as well. But now I've completed the game, and thank God they released Valhalla, which I haven't played.
Free,
and it's free, which is even. I'm not ready to let him go. Right, this is my review of the game. Right? I'm not ready to let Kratos go as a character. The way they built him up and the way I've played it from PS1 all the way to this.
Yeah.
Now I can't remember all the other stories, but all I do remember he was this vicious God of War who had this curse on him and all this sort of stuff. Anyone he ever loved, family, wife, all got slaughtered, all this sort of stuff. Vicious dude. Anyone he fought, think about how vicious he was when he smashed people and killed them, right? Up to this one, and again, spoiler alerts if you guys haven't played the game, he made peaceful thought. In any other game, he would have just slaughtered him in the most brutal way. By this one, because of his kid, right? And then the relationship with Thor's kid with his kid, instead of killing Thor, he was like, we need to be better for our children.
Kids.
I love that. I love that.
Such a good scene. That was such a good scene, man.
Yeah, man. It's one of the best. And I just, like I said, this is making Kratos way more relatable as a human to us than it is just a vicious killing machine where you're just playing and like, kill a motherfucker, let's go. It's more like, I'm emotionally attached with it. As us, we want to do the right thing. So sometimes when you get an option, do you kill him, do you not? Sometimes you pick don't kill him because you want to be a good guy in certain games, right? That's how I felt with Thor. Like if I had the option, I would say don't kill. You know what I mean? And then the same thing with Odin. When he killed him, he didn't brutally kill him. It was
straight kill.
It was yeah, and then the spell happened or whatnot. Loki done the little spell on him and everything, but it wasn't brutal. I remember when he killed Zeus in the previous one on PS4 or 3 or something. I remember you just keep pressing L2 and R2 and he's just smashing his face in. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying with God of War. So I'm glad that they've released Valhalla. I want to see more. I'm not ready to let Kratos go as a character, which is why we've been talking about it, and that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it started from 2005, the first ever one. And obviously his powers or his weapons came from Hades. That he wanted, have more power. And obviously that drove him to kill his own family, which is quite deep. And that's why he wanted to get revenge back on him. And it was pretty good, man. I remember you fighting titans, fighting all the gods. It was crazy, man. Till this day, like, it's one of those games that keeps you intrigued because you kind of learn a bit about history as well.
Well, I mean, a certain methodology that they go through. Yeah,
they go through the Greek mythology, and now obviously, what's now?
I don't know. Yeah. What do you call it?
Nos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Odin for now Valhalla being something to download, which I started playing it actually.
No spoilers on that.
No spoilers, yeah. But I started playing it. It was actually quite interesting. I didn't really play much because kids just get in the way. But I need to get on it now. I really need to get on it. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, what's your thoughts? So what got you into this game?
I was fairly like, again, the GameCube was like my focus console. Outside of the PS2, so I did play the first 2 games. It was with the God of War games. I haven't played them since. The button mashes, basically hack and slashes. You're there for the combat, really, and the story is very loose. But what I liked about this duology specifically is that the scope is a lot smaller compared to the first trilogy, but the narrative is a lot heavier. It's a lot more character focused, which I really liked. And of course, like the behind the shoulder camera combat system is really cool. But yeah, I really like what they did with Kratos here. I think this is just like a trope that I like in storytelling, is just giving a character a kid. Kratos, Atreus, Logan, X-23, Joel and Ellie. Like, I love that dynamic with stories. So I'm a sucker for that, which sold me already. But like his growth as a dad and a warrior and a god as well, you could say, is done really, really well.
It humanized him with Kratos. Before I got into the God of War, the one that came out PS4, he was the God of War, and I like what you said. It was a hack and slash game. So someone who's a simple gamer like me, it's easy to play, or it's easy to get into and fun and whatnot. As soon as he had a kid, for me, it humanized him so much, and immediately you saw from that first game teaching his son how to hunt, and then teaching him life lessons, and also he's against war. Like, if you see this, like he's trying everything he tried to do is stay away from war, which he was the God of War. Now he's staying away from war, and he's trying to teach his kid, what not to do in war, like that we shouldn't go to war. I mean, there's certain little scenes in there where, I can't remember the exact phrases and whatnot, but he basically advising his kid how to stay away from war. Like the best strategy of war is to not do it. And this is coming from Kratos. It's just unbelievable. Someone apparently, sorry before you jump in, someone that I think, I can't remember who it was, like be it the creators or someone, said that they made Kratos too soft. I don't know if anyone read anything, saw something about this, but someone like the developers, be it the director or someone, said that they feel that they made Kratos too soft.
I guess
I don't know, man. I love him.
He's been through so much war. I think he's just fed up and he's tired. He's tired, man. He just wants to chill. He wants to keep his son away from it. I think one of the reasons why it drew me to it is because I've got a son myself. So I was intrigued. I'm like, damn, man. I'm not as big as Kratos or anything like that, but the life lessons, you're like, oh man, I can take that back and use it on my son. Yeah, man, like it's pretty good on how you see him grow as a character.
There's parallels there already for you.
There's a parallel, yeah, exactly. It's like Ellie and what's his name? The last one, Joe and Ellie. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's again that sort of father and daughter figure. Again, I probably can relate to you. So I'm a bit of a sucker for it because I don't know, man. It just
humanizes the character. Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's more to the character, man, and I think the relationship they probably grow together and their journey together. It's a beautiful thing, man. Talking about Last of Us, but yeah, the God of War, it's a beautiful thing, man. And seeing Atreus grow, and then obviously, spoiler alert, obviously Atreus does his own thing at the end of the game. And you're like, okay, are they gonna give us a game for Atreus now?
Before Ragnarok even came out, when the first God of War came out and I finished it, I was like, they announced a sequel. I was like, what if Atreus becomes the next God of War? Like the God of War is a title and not like for Kratos specifically. I think that's out the door anyway at the end of this game.
But
I don't know if I could do into. I don't know, man, because I love Kratos. Like this is the first game apart from Big Boss, like Solid Snake and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I was invested in his character, but you know, I wasn't too emotionally invested. With Kratos, I'm fully invested as his character. And yes, the brutality. I do love the way he chops motherfuckers in twos and whatnot, and the way he's just very brutal. I don't see that in Loki, in his Atreus doing that. And I just don't know if I could get into that type of game. I'm sure they will make it similar like that, but what they did with Kratos, it'll be hard to shift to Loki, a full game with Loki and his style of fighting, unless they shift it around and make him as brutal.
I like Atreus. He's a good character in the game. His mum being a giant and being a soft, he's too soft at times, you know. He always wants to help people, and Kratos was like, no, leave him to it. That's none of my business. I don't want to get involved. But I don't know, man. You're right. I like the brutality. I like Kratos killing people and taking down these big enemies with ease. I don't know if Atreus has that in him. Go for it.
Are you content with this being Kratos' final chapter?
No,
I'm satisfied. I'm like, you know what? If this is the final game, Santa Monica, they're like, we're done. This is Uncharted 4, Thief's End. This is Endgame. I'm content. I'm like, yeah, this is great. Like,
I can agree. I am content. But I wouldn't say no to another as long as the story is good.
Well, let's see what happens in Valhalla, right? Because that's carrying on, right? So if they finished it there, I want more because I want to see more Kratos, but I'll be content because they finish it nicely. However, now you're giving me a bit more with Valhalla, with Kratos. How do you end that? And if you end that, you know what I mean? Like, it might depend on that if I want more or not. I just, like I said, like, if they end it, so be it. I'm just going to have to live life, right? But if I get a new God of War and it's not Kratos, I'm going to be very hesitant.
I wouldn't say no, though.
I'll probably let you buy it first, tell me how you feel, and then I'll go for it if needed. But I'm like I said, like, this is the first game, and I'm sure gamers out there are you guys and other gamers out there get way more invested with other characters. This is the first game I'm emotionally invested with the character Kratos because of who he is and you know what I mentioned before, like his son. Yes, his son was soft, his son was more human and whatnot. You know, that's what kind of calmed him down. Do you know what I mean? That's what kind of, his son gave him perspectives in life. His son was teaching him life lessons as well.
You know what we say when we have a kid? You know, in Islam, we say, may the child be the coolness to your eyes. And I think maybe Atreus could be that coolness to his eyes. You know what I mean? In his head, I need to calm down. I need to be a better role model for my son. And I remember there was that one scene he was begging his dad, like, Dad, why won't you tell me? He goes, because I'm a god. And I think that's when Atreus got big headed.
Yes, I remember that. The first one he got.
And he was trying to tell him, like, calm down, like, you know, you got a lot to learn.
To check your ego and whatnot.
Check your ego, yeah. It was quite deep, man. Quite deep. Even at the end of the game when Atreus saw what's going to happen to Kratos, and he's trying to prevent that from happening. Because obviously he's lost his mum. He doesn't want to lose his dad. So again, and also I think the only person that I can remember that Kratos brutally killed was Heimdall, who said, "I'm going to kill your son." So in defense of that, he brutally, he strangled him to death. But there was a little bit.
There was a bit of
remorse. Like he felt like, shit, what have I done? Like,
he went back to his old ways.
Even what's his name? The guy.
Mimir.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, even Mimir was like, what have you done, Kratos? Like, you know, don't do it. But yeah, it's done, man. He's done what he had to do. Kratos, yeah, maybe it's a bit softer, but he has got that.
Part of the character development.
I think that's the he's old, man. He's old now. Like, you can see, like, he's aged. He's wrinkly, but he's still big. He looks like a sheikh with a big beard.
Yeah, nice. even I'm just thinking of other things, like even the kings, right? The kings that you have to kill, the berserkers. And by the time you finish the last one, I don't know if you've killed all of them, Yusuf.
Nah, but I had to pull my hair out when I was doing the Valkyries in the first game. I'm not doing that stress again.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
You know what? I didn't even do the Valkyries in the first one, but I don't know what it is. I managed to do all the ones in this one. I was so invested in this one. But by the end, that king's weapon, basically, right? Mimir was telling him that it was used for evil. So he's telling Kratos not to take it, and Kratos just responds with, I can use it for good. We can use it for good. Like, you see, his perspective has changed. War has changed him. You know what I mean? War has changed him for the better, to be a better trying to be a better person. Now he just wants to be left alone or whatnot, but it's definitely changed him as a person. So I mean, with the story and stuff, like, I'll be honest with you, it's hard to keep up because you're playing a game for like 100 hours or whatever it is, right? So it's hard to kind of keep up with the story for me. But I don't know, did you guys feel satisfied with the way the story was heading, and did you feel it was like quite direct, and like, you know, the characters involved and everything.
Yeah. Like, no, yeah, I think they did a good job from beginning to end. Like, I have like a few nitpicks, I guess. But other than that, I was pretty satisfied with like all the character arcs and where they went.
What were your nitpicks?
I think they went too light on the flashbacks with Freya, was it Kratos' wife?
Yeah, Freya, yeah.
It's either like I felt like they didn't go enough on her flashbacks, or they should have just let her like leave her out completely. And then that's what I liked about the intrigue of the first game, where you just see her, Atreus and Kratos just talking about her.
Yeah.
And the other nitpick was Tyr. I think he was a bit like it was Odin the entire time. So like, what happened to the actual Tyr? Like, I know that they mentioned him more like after the game.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of wish he had more of like the real Tyr had more of a presence in the story, because he traveled like other realms and like he went to Greece and Olympus. So I was like, oh, maybe Tyr was there when Olympus fell during the third game. Like, I'm just theorizing right now, but that's just. But I kind of wanted to see a bit more of.
Well, on Tyr, like, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, like, if you try to get 100% of the game, and I've seen, I don't want to spoil it, but just if you keep playing it, because he is not he was a main character, but the real one you're talking about, there's like, they talk about it more. There's more, but there's more to it. If you do 100% of the game and try to go through every little thing, more things come up about him. Yeah, so they talk about him a bit more, which gives you a bit more understanding. Maybe I don't know if that will. It might give you the same perspective where you're like, you know, you still want more of him, because the way they played him out was, you know, it's still not a part of the main story, if that makes sense. Like, you gotta do the 100% of every little mission, and then you get little things of him as well. So that might not satisfy you with your Tyr needs, but you know, at least there's more to it there. What about?
I did hear some negative, like with when reviews were coming out. I did hear that like a lot of people were underwhelmed in the final act with Thor, the fight. And I was satisfied. I was like, this is a good fight. It was a good fight.
Really underwhelmed? God damn.
No, bro. So many people were like annoyed by the ending, like the final climax.
Really? Yeah, I wasn't bad. I just didn't like the way they kind of killed him off. I was a bit
yeah. Just a quick, the way he got killed off, that little part, but the first fight was so good. And then the second fight, the first fight was so. We were talking about yesterday. Thor actually killed Kratos. Do you remember the first fight?
Yes, yeah.
Thor kills him and then revives him because we're not finished yet. I mean, that was sick. And then the second fight, man, I loved it. I think with the choreographing and the way they design the gaming of these big battle fights, for me, the best ever. You can't get better than that. If every game. No, not every game, but if they make games like that, whatever the game is, I'll be on it. Like, they made it. I keep saying the Wolverine game. I mean, I'm very interested in that. Now, if the same people who made God of War made a Wolverine game, I'm like, fuck me. Could you imagine a Logan and Lone Wolf and Little Cub made by these guys?
Well, supposedly the Wolverine game is not going to be like God of War, but they're aiming to sort of have that sort of gameplay, you know.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I thought like a Wolverine game would be more like like Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, hack and slash. Have you seen the leaked gameplay?
I'm avoiding it.
Have you? Well, okay.
I'm trying to avoid it. I saw like 2 pictures of like certain characters. I'm like, I want to stay away.
I showed Gilman, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but what do you think? It looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It looks decent.
It's not finished. Yeah.
Can I just say what I saw?
Go on.
I saw Jean Grey basically and a bit of gameplay, like demo gameplay.
Oh, remember like we saw it and I was like, that looked basic, and you're like, that's
It's like really, really early development.
Yeah, no, there was some recent footage of Wolverine fighting some ninjas and whatnot.
Oh,
again,
okay.
It's not finished. Again, it's not finished, but no, it looks decent. But what I'm saying, I think the gameplay for God of War for someone like me is makes it easy. Now, if you don't want to fight Valkyries and all that shit, you don't have to, right? Because they're extreme. Trust me, I was going crazy on the last fucking Valkyrie, and there's a glitch to beat her, and I was telling him, even with the fucking glitch, I can't beat her. Like, I couldn't even beat it because they updated it. So you know, on the first one, I didn't even bother because it was driving me nuts. But on the second one, I did. On Ragnarok, I did fight them all. You don't need to, and if you just go through the gameplay, you can. You know, as long as you gear up decently, you can get through the game, which I think is fine. But I think the gameplay itself is just it's fun. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's vicious. It's entertaining. It's easy to control. Yes, there's loads of moves and you can build up combos, but you don't need to do that if you're not an expert or whatnot. And what else, man? I like the view, I like the scenery, I like the blood. And
what was your combat style? Like, what did you focus more on? Like, were you more like aggressive? Like, you had like the smallest shield, where you can parry more. Did you focus more on like the axe, the Blades of Chaos?
I did.
What did you upgrade?
I had more of my cooldown and my runic. So I'd sort of use the axe, do a special, and then I'll switch to the spear, do that, and then switch to the
same thing. Yeah, I had the same thing.
So I had that kind of like sort of just going aggressive, and then I barely use the shield, to be honest with you. There's a lot of reasons. Most of the times when I died is because I didn't use the shield.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
I was you know what? You know what's weird? So when I tried to kill the Valkyrie, because the glitch wasn't working, so I started watching videos on how to kill this bitch legitly. So I started watching people how they play it, and I started learning combos for it. So I actually learned combos at the end of the game rather than at the very end, right? Rather than through the game. So that was a bit of a mistake. But yeah, I was more of an aggressive guy. I tried to kit up all my gear, and I focused a lot more on attack and defense more than anything. Listen, I'm a basic gamer, so those are the two things I tried to get up and whatnot. But yeah, I switched between them all. I like switching between all of them, but I always held the axe. When I just run around, make sure I just hold the axe, because the
axe mechanic is the most satisfying combat thing I've ever experienced in a game.
Isn't it, right? Yeah.
If they make like a Captain America game, which I think is in development, have like the same mechanic with the shield, or like a Thor game, same mechanic, bro. It's so satisfying.
God.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. That's 100% Thor. I used to love it when he just can't. It's so simple, but
the controller vibrates slightly as well. You feel it, bro. It's so satisfying.
When you forget your hammer somewhere, like maybe you stabbed it somewhere, you forget it, and then you press it, and it just takes a couple of minutes. And I love that.
It'll take a few seconds before it comes back.
Best, yeah.
I enjoyed the Blades of Chaos as well.
Well, that was his original.
That was original, yeah.
So when he got the Blades of Chaos, that's exciting because it's old Kratos. Yeah. Got the God of War is back.
I even got the ringtone, the soundtrack as my ringtone. And one time my wife called me and she goes, what's that? And I'm like, oh, that's my ringtone. She goes, why does it sound like you're going into war? Why is it when I call you, it sounds like that? I just tried to explain to her that it's from a game, but I love the soundtrack to it, man. It's proper.
It's deep. That's what I'm saying. If you think about this game, I think it's, for me personally, it's like a movie. Like,
but they're talking about, I know there was rumors about Kratos going to Cairo and going.
Oh, like Rome, like the Egyptian gods. Yeah.
The Egyptian gods now.
What, for a new game or?
Yeah, it's rumors.
This character, this Kratos right now is who I love, right?
You're invested in.
I'm invested in this character emotionally. Now, if they carry this character on, of course, I want to see more. But he is getting old, right? So where does it end? But if they do previous stories or previous things, it won't be this god. It won't be this Kratos. It will be more of the vicious one. You know what I mean? Like stuff before his kid. So I mean, I'll still be invested, but the character building of this game was just too good, and I just want more of him. So I don't know where they take it with him or whatnot. Because in this one, you felt like he was dragged into this, right? And he had to deal with it. Whereas previously, he had a mission. You know what I'm trying to say?
Because his son kept running off doing his own thing. So he felt like he had to keep chasing his son, and he was dragged back into it. Obviously, Atreus ran away with Odin and stuff like that. And Kratos is as a worrying father, he's like, I need to find him now.
Bear in mind, his wife is a giant as well. So like, there's
his wife's a giant. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So stuff like that, man. He's always dragged into it.
Yeah. Well, okay. So outside of Kratos, Yusuf, who else was your favorite character? One of your favorite characters in there?
I really like Thor, man. This is like my favorite version of Thor ever.
Yeah.
Like, I hope we see.
Agreed.
Yeah. Like if Santa Monica are gonna like expand the world without Kratos, I think Thor, there's like a lot of character to him. Like you can see he has like a tragic backstory, which is implied, which would be cool. You didn't see his body. like he was the only god that didn't like drop dead. It was like evaporated into like midair. So
he might not be.
Well, possibly. They believe in that mythology. Correct me if I'm wrong. They believe when they die, they go to Valhalla. Right? That's the promised land type of thing, or whatever it is. So maybe in this Valhalla game, he comes back. I don't know, man. We have to play it and do another review on that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Thor is my favorite. He was awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I know I love the Thor from the Avengers and whatnot, and that's the Thor that we got to love in the recent times, right? And we kind of visualized our Thor to be like that handsome, buff dude, except Endgames, because Endgames was literally almost like the Thor.
More accurate, actually, in Endgame. Yeah.
More accurate. Yeah, I guess you can say it's more accurate, exactly. But this, he was so raw. He was so.
He had like the hammer, and he was like, "Are you a calm and reasonable person?" Drops it on the table. Oh, bro, it was
so good, bro. So good. The dialogue. Well, that's another thing. The dialogue in this game is also very like really good and just like so fucking cool. Do you know what I mean?
Were you having a double take on Odin the entire game? Where you're like, oh, is he actually like
Is he good? Is he
Is he
bad?
good? Like he's treating Atreus very nice. I was like, oh, maybe he actually is like has like a.
There was a
actually-
part of me like he seems like he's coming from a good side, and then you're like, okay, wait, maybe he's a bad guy. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty good the way he played that role, man.
Yeah.
He's an actor, isn't it?
Yeah, that guy. I can't remember his name, but
his
yes,
name, but
yeah.
yeah.
I knew he was a bad guy. I knew where the game was headed. I guess I felt that it was predictable. What I was hoping for, actually, just because of the way Thor was being treated and Lady Sif was kind of tough Thor and all this sort of stuff, I thought there would be a big battle with Thor and Kratos teaming up against Odin. That's what I thought, and I guess I was hoping for, because that would have been epic. Because I didn't want the way Thor's character was from the very beginning, and then you start learning about him and how humanized he got because of what he was going through. He was another guy who's like, shit, like I like him, you know what I mean? So could you imagine an epic team up between Kratos and Thor? I'm just, listen, no, that's just me just geeking out, but just because of the way both of their characters were. Like, now Thor was one of my favorite characters outside of Kratos too, but I really like Mimir, man. I think he's funny as hell. There's something about him, he's very, like, his stories and everything, he just trying to, like, he imposes on Kratos, and he tries to be a little uncle, I guess uncle figure on Atreus.
Yeah.
He's funny, man. He makes me laugh.
He's definitely like one of my favorite like gaming companions.
Yeah.
On your quest.
Quite funny. Even without a body, he still tried it with the Valkyrie. He's
Yes.
still trying to get something at the end.
Okay, so there was another gripe a lot of people had talking about this game was the the side quest with Atreus when he met Agraboda in the Giant Realm. A lot of people said that kind of killed the pace for the game. Did you feel that?
At times,
it was like a 2-hour sequence.
I won't lie. At times, I did. Yeah, I won't lie.
Yeah.
But again, I was intrigued to know, her character and her backstory as well. But yeah, it did. It kind of just dipped for me a little bit. I kind of just wanted to get past that in a sense.
Yeah. Okay, I agree from that perspective because I just want to get back to Kratos. I do feel the gameplay with Kratos is way more fun than with Atreus.
Yeah.
Right? And of course it's the brutality. Kratos is a god of war. He's all that. He's got the combat skills and whatnot. I just feel with Atreus, it was just, just the arrows and a couple of attacks, and it wasn't as fun as playing with him as Kratos. So I agree from that perspective, but I didn't really feel like it slowed things down, but like it didn't like put me off. It was like, let me just get through this part.
It's not like Metal Gear Solid 2, where like half the game he plays Raiden, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's not like that. I was still satisfied with the Trace's like levels.
Yes. Agreed.
It's not like where you're like, oh. Like the first Spider-Man game, the MJ missions where it just cuts the momentum for me. I was like,
have you played the second one?
Nah. I was planning to get it today.
Yeah.
But I was like, let me get Final Fantasy 16 first, get that out of the way. I'm gonna play. My list right now is Final Fantasy 16, Ghost of Tsushima, and Spider-Man 2 before Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth comes out.
Okay.
And get those 3 games. Get those 3 games before. That's my deadline.
I've got currently what I'm playing is Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah, I'm replaying Ghost of Tsushima on the PS5 remastered. Nice. Spider-Man 2, Need for Speed Unbound. What's that one? Callisto Protocol, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Gotham Knights. Cyberpunk. I bought Cyberpunk. I'm playing that on my Steam Deck.
That's on my list, yeah.
And that's a long game as well. So I was like, man, Gungrave. I got so many games, man. So many games.
The list is never ending, man. It's like
honestly,
you never get up to date.
No, I'm playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu.
Nice.
I bought it for my son. I'm trying to get my son into it. I'm like, yeah, look, this is what. Forget the new Pokemon. This is the Pokemon I played. The original 150 Pokemon. So I'm trying to get him to play it. He seems to be enjoying it. He doesn't really know much about Pokemon, but I'm trying to encourage him, like Zelda, Pokemon, like Nintendo Switch.
You can't go wrong with Nintendo, to be fair, with the kids.
No, you can't, man. Like, he loves the Switch. When we play like Mario Kart and stuff like that, it's easy, it's child friendly, because I can't play PS5 in front of him. Besides like Spider-Man, he can play, but God of War, I can't play in front of him. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, they swear. So I don't like playing games like in front of him like that. He likes to sit down and watch, so I just I gotta be careful, man. So yeah, Nintendo Switch is the best option at the moment, man, for me.
Like, I think Nintendo like used to be like how like it used to be 3 rival companies.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Nintendo are doing their own thing now with
Just-
their
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, they stepped
Yeah.
away, right? Not stepped away, but I think you're right. They took a different approach. Where
Yeah.
the Xbox and PlayStation are kind of competing with similar type of games and being very
Yeah.
advanced and all the storyline and blah blah blah. And Nintendo's like, you know what? Let's just own a market of just easy playing games using our Nintendo characters and whatnot.
Nintendo games will always sell. Mario, Zelda, especially.
The Mario movie made like over $1 billion.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
I think
What's that? What made $1 billion?
The Mario movie.
Mario, yeah.
It made over $1 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I took my son to watch that, and that's what got him into Mario, man.
Yeah.
I think they said they were talking about the next Switch coming out soon, or
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they smashed it with the Wii, right? Remember when the Wii came out?
the Wii
They
was fun.
killed it. But of course, that gimmick ran out eventually. But the
Yeah.
fact that they killed it in the beginning.
But-
What was I gonna say? But just to go back to God of War, did you find that stuff boring as well with Atreus and stuff? Like, what do you think of Atreus? Like, forget that specific part. Just playing with Atreus in general. Like, what's on that? Do you think that they could have improved him more and made it more fun to play with him, or was that just me that found him boring to play with?
No, I was satisfied. I think from the amount of time that we had compared to Kratos, again, I felt like it was like a 70-30 to Kratos to Atreus with the gameplay, so I was satisfied.
Yeah.
And like, I loved the bit where he was in Asgard anyway, when he met Heimdall and like he was exploring. That was like, let me stay here. I don't want to go back to Kratos. Let me see what I want to stay with the Asgardians. So that was cool. I did not like it. It was just very, very slow. Thankfully, I didn't play it in one sitting. I did that section in like 3 sittings, so it didn't really affect the pace. It didn't affect me compared to other people. So I was okay with it.
I just found it boring when you had to help her auntie and stuff like that, and I just found that a bit boring. I was like, man, I just want to get past this bit. For me personally, I just want to get back to Kratos. I want to see them reunite again. That's what it was going through my head. When's the reunite going to happen? And you know what I mean? It was such a beautiful thing when they got back together and he hugged him, innit? I remember he hugged him and stuff. And he told him he loves him and stuff. I was like, damn, where's my son? I need to hug my son at this point.
I mean, if there was any other character I would have loved to play with, it would have been Thor. I would love if they did do a side mission or side game on him. Not just the methodology of Thor, but this specific Thor and how he was treated by Odin and where did it go wrong?
Because Odin just kept sending him on missions.
Yeah.
Go do this. Go do
exactly.
That.
Where did it go? Was Odin just a dick from the beginning, or did something happen? Did Thor always loved his father, wanted his approval and all that sort of stuff?
Was it after his sons died?
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, hold on, what's going on? His wife might be putting pressure on him.
Thor's daughter's name.
Thrud?
Food, yeah, exactly. So even Thor, even though Kratos killed his 2 boys, Thor still recognized that his 2 boys
are dead.
No, not that they're dead. They're dicks. They're dicks like him.
Oh,
and I think it came from Odin, right? Yeah. Where his daughter, there was a lot more. She was a much better person than the boys. You know what I mean? So even though Thor, like, this guy killed your kids, and Odin's using that against Thor, and everyone's using that against Thor to kill Kratos, he knew his daughter was better than his boys. And that Thor had that same relationship with his daughter, that almost like that same relationship with his daughter that Kratos had with his son. They humanized them a bit more rather than just be as vicious murderers and whatnot. I'm looking to play Valhalla. Look, we'll touch base again once we all completed Valhalla and whatnot. I guess this wasn't just a apparently the gameplay is more than bloody Call of Duty apparently.
That's like a meme. It's like longer than
it's crazy.
The COD campaign.
So you know what, I thought this was gonna be a God of War review, but I think we went more into just general gaming, innit? So let's name this. Look, man, I don't want to commit to a weekly gaming podcast, but Yusuf, you brought up a good point about if we played a game together and just give like a weekly thought or whatnot. It's a bit more. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I can keep up with that, just because 1, I don't play many games, and 2, I don't think I can commit to playing a certain portion of a game to just give a review or whatnot.
And plus, I'll be ahead, you'll be ahead sometimes, so it's again.
Yeah, and then everyone's playing different games and all this sort of stuff. But I think we should try and do a gaming podcast every so often. You know what I mean? Like when Tekken comes out, I'm gonna give my thoughts on that.
Play Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima, when you play that, yes, we could talk about that too.
I tell you that now. I bought it again on the PS5. That's how beautiful the game is. I'm playing it in Japanese this time though, because the first time I played it in English, This time the dialogue, everything's in Japanese. It just sounds so much better in Japanese.
Oh yes, the just heads up, the actor for Jin Sakai is the voice actor for Zoro from One Piece.
Oh,
So,
is
like,
it?
yeah. So it's
I
a
didn't
big
even know.
deal.
Oh, Zoro. Who's Zoro? The guy with the green hair.
The
Zoro
three
Sama.
swords. Yeah, green hair.
Oh
Yeah,
yes. Oh really? Was it? Is
yeah.
it him?
Zoro voices him in
The English
the-
or Jap or both?
the Japanese dub, Japanese subtitles.
Oh,
yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Sick. I didn't know that.
It's
That's
really
pretty
cool.
cool.
One Piece is what I haven't watched it.
It's good, man.
I haven't
It's
watched
good.
it.
It's
Yeah,
good. I
really.
really enjoyed it.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Have you been to, with E3, sadly, like, RIP, have you been to gaming conventions by any chance?
No.
Like your EGX,
No.
Gamescom?
Never been to
No,
one.
Oh, man.
I'll be honest with you. I've never been to one, to be honest with you.
The
Never.
same. I was wondering if you have. That's why.
Yeah. Honestly, I just don't get the chance. Like, I
Never
play a
been
lot of games.
Yeah.
But I just never get a chance. Like, even Comic Con, I don't even get a chance to go Comic Con.
Yeah, it's just timing these days. As we're
Timing.
older, it's a timing thing and
Kids.
responsibility thing and whatnot.
I would like to
Yeah.
take my son.
But we were always into. You asked the question a while back. Did we used to watch, have magazines and all that sort of
Yes.
stuff? And of
Yeah.
course, back in days, we used to watch Games Master. Do you remember that? Everyone remembers that, which was awesome. But there was that magazine that Kibler was in. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember.
I can't remember what it was called exactly. But when Tekken 3 came out, because I remember the Tekken 3 characters were on the front of the magazine.
It was Jin, wasn't
No, it was all of them.
Yeah.
Jin,
Eddie.
and all them lot.
it? Yeah.
And there was a portion in the magazine that Kibler was in. Kibler was in, I think, Virgin Megastores in Oxford Street, looking for something. And then someone said, "Hey, can I ask you some questions for this magazine?" I can't, but it was a big gaming magazine, a big one. Can't remember what it is. I got to get Kibler to.
That sounds just like a PlayStation magazine, I'm sure. I'll do my
It was
research on
probably
this.
something like that. And he was in there. Kibler was in there, and they asked him, "What's your favorite game?" And he's like, "Tekken," and all this sort of stuff. It's pretty cool. So
That's
we've been
sick.
generally invested, man. If you started with GameCube, and maybe that's because of your age, we're kind of old and whatnot. So our one was Amstrad. No, the Spectrum. We had a Spectrum.
Nice. Okay.
Which
Nice.
was one of those
Sega Mega Drive.
Mega Drive for you. So for us, it was Spectrum, and you put the tape in, and it just has this weird fucking noise as it loads. And then the game was using the keyboard. I remember the game
Mad.
called Oh Mummy, which was kind of like Pac-Man. You're running away from shit. Bro, fucking hell, those were the days, man.
This is like 8-bit stuff.
8-bit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and the tapes and whatnot. Spectrum, that was funny. And then we got Mega Drive, Sega Mega Drive, and then it evolved.
It's
from-
crazy.
So like, were you more Sega or Nintendo? Like growing up?
We were Sega because we had a Sega Mega Drive.
Oh.
Yeah. And then PlayStation.
But Nintendo
Oh yeah.
was good, man.
But then you moved. I know Nintendo was always awesome. It was always silly, right? We're human. We always fall into freaking tribes, right? But as you grow up, like for example, as a proper gamer, he's like, I'm not a PlayStation guy. I'm not a whatever guy. I'm buying all of them, man.
I'm
Because I love.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm like that.
I
as well.
mean,
Like the Steam
Yeah.
Deck is amazing, man. I recently bought a Steam Deck, and obviously, as it's a handheld PC gaming device, it's crazy. You could change the settings to whatever frame you want it to be. So from 45 frames per second, or you can have it 90 frames per second. It's amazing. Like I don't know if you looked into it, but
I've kind of like, I'm very 50-50 on handheld like devices in general.
yeah,
Like I don't think they've been marketed correctly. Like ever since the PS Vita and the PSP,
yeah,
which I think they were ahead of its time.
yeah.
They were like destroyed. So I was
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the PlayStation Portal?
I'm not gonna buy it because I'm not that kind of person who
You know what?
games on phones and stuff and screens. I
You
like
know,
being next to a
yeah.
TV playing.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. I think the reason why I got the Steam Deck, and I was saying to Kim, having kids and stuff, obviously, I can never get away to the games room and just
Yeah.
chill without the kids sort of following me. So I thought if I sit downstairs, I can play on the Steam Deck. And like I said, I'm playing quite a few games on it now, man. Like, I started Arkham Knights again.
Nice.
Yeah, I love
we
that
should do a
game.
little review
I
on the
love-
Steam Deck,
yeah.
actually.
I love the Arkham Knight game, bro. Gotham Knights for me just been
Yeah, bro, that was the Gotham Knights.
I'm only playing it because of the story, but the gameplay was just pants for me. But Arkham Knight, till this day, is still the best Batman game out
Yeah.
there, man. But I don't want to make it a Batman review kind of thing. But it's
No, it's cool. I was gonna say, like, with the mobile gaming, remember I was stuck on that game Future Fight for 6
Oh
years.
Jesus Christ!
Such a stupid game. Marvel Future Fight. But
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I got okay. When I say I'm not a gamer, right? For some weird reason, I got addicted to this game for 6 years, bro. Through when I was in Hong Kong to Singapore, and every time I'll go somewhere, like I would play it and I would do my daily missions to get my daily coins to kill up the cat, all this sort of shit. Bro, it was weird, bro. And then one day I was playing it in Singapore. This is 6 years after playing it in like freaking religiously as a madman. I was like, this is stupid, man, and I deleted it. Like, I just deleted it. Like
6 years of game.
After 6 years, but it was just like I don't know how I got so addicted to that game. It was like an easy mobile web game or mobile app game or whatever, and you just play it on the bus or whatever it is.
That's a bit like Call of Duty on the phone.
Yeah. Also, I was like, it was through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of Marvel and whatnot. So you're very into it. And then every time a new Marvel movie came out, they would update the game with the costumes or whatever. But I remember, like, you get addicted to certain things, man. And it's like, I remember just the day I was like, this game is stupid, man. And I just deleted it. I was playing it. I was doing my daily thing well into it. And then I think I died once, probably pissed me off. And I was like, this game is fucking stupid. And then I deleted it. You know what? I'm sticking to... Yeah, I'm like you. I like the console. I like the big screen. I like the experience of the big screen and good sound system. And I need to buy headphones or whatever because I want that immersive sound and whatnot.
What headphones do you recommend actually? Because I'm legit, like, before this we hopped on, I was just doing a bunch of research on what headphones to get. Like, I was looking at the Sony Pulse.
What's that bubble?
I don't know.
So, bro, did you do that? Was that thumbs up?
It must be like a animation thing. You try it?
Wait, who done that? How do you do that? You didn't set something up?
I must have put something on the settings.
Well, that's sick. Okay. Go, carry on.
Sony Pulse is what I'm looking at just because they're like the main recommended for PS5. But like, I know there's like Turtle Beach and like other brands, but what would you recommend?
The original
Pulse, the Pulse, I got the first one. Because I know they announced the second one and the earbuds. And the earbuds are quite expensive.
Right. I'd rather get the headset, to be fair.
I like the headset. Because the earbuds, I don't know. I mean, I like earbuds. I like the idea of the whole headphones being around your neck, put it on, being immersed into it. Even with the Xbox, I got the Xbox headset as well, and I prefer that to me. I like gaming with my headphones on. I can't game. I can't game with the TV speakers. I prefer headphones because you actually hear things that you wouldn't normally hear from the TV,
like the footsteps,
Yeah, so I was playing Callisto Protocol, and I was hearing shit from everywhere. And honestly, no word of a lie, I was playing the game, I'm hearing shit, and my wife's calling me from down the stairs. And I looked to my right, and I screamed because I was just so immersed in shit. She was like, "Why are you playing these games if you can't be a man?" I was like, "Listen, you can't play this game. Game's scary."
How are you with horror games? Like Resident Evil and stuff.
I like Resident Evil. I haven't played the latest one. I was playing what is it called? What is it called now? It's bugging me. Evil Within. I played the first one, and the second one had me in so much edge. I was telling you yesterday, remember? I deleted the game. I was like, I can't do this to myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a heart attack, man.
I think I have like PTSD with horror games. Like, I think when I was very young with the PS2, you know, Silent Hill.
Yes. Yeah.
So scary. Yeah.
So imagine like little 8-year-old me thinking I'm a bad man. Like, I turned the light. It's like 8 o'clock, which is very, very late for me at the time. So I turned it off. Lights turned off. I have the blanket over me. TV on.
Oh man.
Only saw some light. I'm 2 hours in. Nah, I quit. And I'm like, yeah.
I remember Resident Evil 1. That was the first one I played. I don't really play horror games, but Resident Evil 1. That was
first scene.
That first scene when you first see the zombie and it turns its head, you're like, this is some scary shit.
Yeah.
That game was scary. And the way they used to open the door, do you remember? You open the door and it's got black and it's just the door. That shit was scary.
And like they had like fixed cameras as well. Like it was you couldn't move the camera. It made it even worse. It was
yeah. Sometimes it could be behind you, other times it'd be in front. That was really good.
I think when Resi 5 came out, they made it more action based with Chris Redfield. I was like, perfect, great. It's more action horror than like survival horror.
I do love my zombie games like Days Gone. Days Gone was a good zombie game.
I need to play that. You know, I've never played that.
Days Gone's a good zombie game.
See, I like House of the Dead, but I remember Dreamcast having the guns.
Wow,
I used to love that shit with zombie games. That was fun.
But are you someone to check reviews first before buying a game?
I do. Yeah, IGN reviews and stuff like that. I bought Sekiro. I remember I bought Sekiro, and I don't know if you played Sekiro.
That's very hard, bro. I can't play games like that.
So I bought the game. I was playing it with my friend, and for 2 hours I got destroyed. I got destroyed so bad. I put it back on eBay and sold it.
Wow, yeah.
Bought it and sold it in the same day.
I remember my friend was laughing at me the whole time. He's like, "Just sell it, man. This game's too hard." And I was like, "Man, I could do it. I can't do it, man.
It's stress, bro. Like Bloodborne, I have it. I don't know why I didn't sell it. Like I struggled to get past the first boss.
Yes,
it was like a 4-hour sitting. I was like, inshallah. I was making. I was like, please, for lads, let me just beat this boss. I couldn't beat it. Like everyone's telling me to get Elden Ring. I'm like, I'm not gonna have fun. I'm not gonna have fun playing this game. It looks nice.
Nah, this is what I'm saying. Like for me, I can never do hard games. Like there's no point for me, for example. I just don't have patience, and I don't need that kind of game and stress in my life, man. Because I already go crazy. I like those games, like I said, God of War definitely.
What mode did you play God of War on though?
I'm full on the normal or whatever. Man.
Oh, normal. Okay.
Yeah. I ain't got time for that in my life. But I like those Chayon Fat games, Stranglehold. I like that sort of shit, man. Just shoot 'em up, Max Payne. Not too much not too hard, you know what I mean? It's fun, shoot 'em up and whatnot. That's the type of game I like.
Yeah. I don't mind a bit of a challenge, but I think with age, I'm not as great as in gaming as I used to be. Yeah, like Sekiro, it was free on Xbox, Lies of P. And it was about,
okay. I haven't played that one.
Pinocchio, but game was so hard, deleted it. I said, no, I'm not invested. I'm not gonna waste my time, man. I can't do it. But I didn't even get into it. I was like, delete this game. Done. I'm alright. I don't want to play it. Because video games.
Also, you got to think about, man. There's so many games out there on so many different consoles, and the time that you have in a day, and with the rest of your life and whatnot, work, family, training, whatever it is you do. At this age now, and maybe it's just us, because there's other people who probably do have their time and spend all their time. If you're a gamer who streams constantly, you make tons of money, then you're lucky, right? You just spend that's your work day. But like you have to be very limited with the games that you can play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to be selective. Otherwise, you're just gonna like you got 10 games to play. How the hell are you gonna complete them? You know what I mean?
Games, man.
No, I can relate. Like to be fair with games, just because I like reviewing games, I kind of want to delve into the journalism world of video games. Inshallah.
Yeah.
So
inshallah,
that's so I give myself a lot more leeway with that. But like I see I'm like that with TV shows. I'm like, this has to be every season has to be good. I don't want no falling off season.
It
needs to be good. Breaking Bad, perfect, all 5 seasons. Stranger Things, all good seasons.
Walking Dead.
I was watching it weekly when it came out, so I dropped off after Negan. Like
everyone drops out after. I followed through after Negan's season. Yes, it got boring, and then the other thing happened, but I followed it through to the end. I had like 1/6 scales of Rick and Daryl and Glenn because I was such a fan of it. But after Negan's season, it died off me, and I was like, okay, let me sell these guys. I've kind of lost the love for it, man. But I'm still watching the spin-offs. I'm still watching them. I guess one of those zombie things I like, man. I love zombie shows and zombie games.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, The Last of Us was a kind of zombie sort of thing.
Yeah, Last of Us.
And that was probably the best adaptation of a video game, right? Onto screen.
100%.
Right? Right, is that right in saying? I mean, Mario was obviously an animation, but best adaptation of a movie, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
One of the best anyway, successfully wise. If they're looking to make a God of War, they have to do it well. They have to do a 12-episode show or whatever. Or it's got to be a show because I want a long-form story.
I'd rather than not make a show God of War.
Well, if they don't do it, then like maybe not. But I think they're doing it. Right?
What's like a very violent movie that you can compare it to? Like, what's a very, very, very violent movie that I can't think of anything, bro.
John Wick.
Nah, but that's artistically violent.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this God of War has to be artistically violent, but it has to be artistically brutally violent. I don't know. I've never seen those Viking shows, like
Vikings. Yes.
I tried.
But even that as well. Like I heard, like the first 4 seasons were good, then it fell off, and I'm like, do I watch it?
Okay.
See, I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know how they are. I'm trying to think. What else is it like? I don't know what we could compare it to actually, but
it has to be. Tough. It's gonna be tough.
It has to be brutal, I guess.
Like adaptations, adaptions are hard, man. Like
yeah.
Like they're making what adaptations are they making, man? They're making a Zelda adaptation.
No.
Like that's.
But it's gonna be animation, right? Or is it gonna be what do you call it?
No, I think it's live action.
Live action.
I remember, yeah. So I'm like
Pokemon. They were talking about Pokemon and Tom Holland being Ash.
He's overexposed. He's a good actor, but right now he needs a.
Like when they did Uncharted, they should.
I despise that film.
They should have done it, man. Like, I love Mark Wahlberg. I like Tom Holland. But come on, man. I don't know if you ever watched on YouTube. There was this actor
with Nathan Fillion, the fan film.
Nathan Fillion, yeah. That was brilliant. That was but I don't know why they Tom Holland went for it, man.
It's like,
money.
so annoying.
It's
Yeah.
money.
And he was. I mean, I don't know the game, to be honest. So I kind of generally enjoyed that movie for what it was. It reminded me of like National Treasure or like an Indiana Jones.
Oh no, yeah, Uncharted is pretty much inspired by that, but like it's the Tom Holland was basically playing himself the entire movie.
Yeah.
I did a full review on the movie, so I'll send you the link because it's a link in the bio. But yeah, with video game adaptations, I don't know. I like the Sonic movies. They were
Sonic
fun.
was good. Yeah, Sonic was fun.
Sonic was fun, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Last
look, God
of
of War. The first thing you're gonna criticize is, does he look like Kratos?
Yeah.
Right, that's gonna be the first, right?
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, immediately you're gonna be like, basic. If it's some skinny dude or whatever, you're gonna be like, for fuck's sakes, right?
Yeah.
I think you have to get the character on point,
Yeah.
right? Even if you try to change things, it's live action, we got to change things. You better be very minor, right? You gotta have the red stripe and the marks and the tattoos, and you gotta have the
change,
you know what I mean? Like, but if they, so that's gonna be the immediate thing, and then it's gonna be about the story, right? And then it's gonna be about the action. The game is as brutal as it can be. Can you give me that on the live screen? It's gonna be tough. Like, they're taking risks when they do that.
I think they should leave it. Man.
Yeah, I think they should leave it. Like, man, the Halo show was terrible for me. Like,
I didn't even watch it.
I started it and I said, nope, I'm gonna leave it.
So you know the Master Chief, right? He's this stoic, quiet, elite badass, right? Episode 1.
Helmet off. Yeah, I know, his helmet comes off.
Like it turns out the writers aren't fans of the games. They never played the games, so I don't understand like Hollywood. Like, they just
why do that?
Clout. It's just clout. They just want to have they want to have a name.
Yeah.
Say like I'm a producer on this.
I'm a producer.
Basically. So
even the actor they chose, I'm not really too fond of him, to be honest with you. He was in one 50 Cent movie. I forget his name. Man.
Like, The Mandalorian is a better Halo movie than the better Halo show than the Halo show.
Yeah. Exactly. He kept his helmet throughout more or less all the seasons.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that. I mean, if you're gonna do an adaptation of a video game or something, then you got to keep it true to the game and the fans. Right, that's like anything. That's what we talk about with the MCU and DCU and all that stuff. You gotta keep it. You gotta change things. That's totally cool, but you gotta keep the simple, basic stuff true to the fans, to the video games, and then you can move forward from there. But the moment you start changing main things, that's when you start losing fans. And fans these days are crazy, right? Fans love to hate. People don't fucking like Atreus. I mean, I shitted all over him, but his gameplay wasn't too bad and whatnot. People shitting on the ending of certain things, but keep the main elements true, and then
listen to the fans. That's what I'll say. Listen to the fans, man, because the fans know what they want.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna start changing things, then change it for the best. Don't make silly choices.
Yeah. If it's an adaptation, you should listen to the fans. If it's your own creative arc, story, character, then you could. Yeah, of course, the creators should do whatever they want. That's them. That's their thing.
Oh, like, this is a bit of a. I'm gonna throw in like a thing at you, but like, say for example, Batman '89, right? That's very, very different from the comics, right? You could say Tim Burton didn't listen to the fans, but it became like a foundation of the Batman mythos.
Very good point. Very good point. Yeah, so it was Tim Burton's idea of Batman and his view of how Batman would be and look, and it's a good point actually.
Well, I mean,
but again,
it was after this TV show, right? It was the first. After the TV show, which we saw was very animated, and it was made in the 70s or whatever.
Adam West
1960s. One. This was a complete different take, right? And I think this was a bit more relatable. Also, I was watching a Kevin Smith thing. He was saying even back then, that movie before it even came out, Michael Keaton was getting slated, and it was getting slated. But they didn't have Twitter and all that sort of shit, so you couldn't see it. But people were saying it, right? And then the movie came out, and it done what it did, right? And it displayed what it did. Michael Keaton was awesome, and that's what I think. You got it depends, right? I think sometimes you got to give it a chance, right? Same thing with again skipping with Batman, Heath Ledger. No, Heath Ledger as Joker. Same thing before. It's Heath Ledger. It's gonna be basic. And then he comes out and he does the best performance ever, the most epic performance ever. So it comes down to you got to give it a chance, but then the adaptation that you pull it on the big screen. The character building and all that sort of direction is so important as well. You know what I mean?
I think we talk about this in the BMA episode with like anime adaptations, like
Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, if One Piece is for me is like one of the hardest things to adapt.
Yeah,
and they did it really well.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah. So I always say like if it's behind the right people with a vision and everyone cares about the project.
Yeah.
Then I think they can do it well.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's not there, then it's gonna fail.
Yeah, it's got a point.
Yeah.
Because they did an Attack on Titan adaptation, didn't they? I don't know. Yeah, and they done Death Note.
Death Note,
Yeah, and I never watched it. I really didn't watch it, but Kibler said it was decent. What else is there?
There was so One Piece happened. There was a Yu Yu Hakusho adaptation that came out this month.
Yeah.
There's rumors of
Is that
Fist
good?
of the North Star.
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
Wait. Let's go back to this rumor, bro. What did you
There's
hear?
rumors of a Fist of the North Star adaptation, but I don't know if it's just a rumor or if it's actually happening.
Oh, now listen now. That's my favorite. That's probably my top 1, 2. Probably my number 1 favorite anime of all time. And I'm talking about the actual movie. The show was also, the cartoon series was also awesome, but that original movie, which I think was 1985, I believe, that was my favorite of all time. Now, that movie that came out was so basic. Now, if they do an adaptation of that, I'm going to be very critical because that's going to be one of my favorite. I'm going to watch it. Oh, I remember there's one of the games on PS1 or PS4.
There was a PS4 game that came out as well.
It was a PS4
like
game.
A fighting game, yeah.
Oh, I didn't play that one. But I watch it. Of course, I'll watch it, but they need to do it right. Me and Kibbs have been advocating for Zack Snyder to do a Fist of the North Star because his
perfect
vision,
pitch,
amazing. That'll be the one. Oh my god, if they do that, that'll be so sick.
Like a Zack Snyder, like esque George Miller, like team up.
That'll be good.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
Because Zack Snyder, like they look like it's the wide shots of like the wasteland, the slow mo. Zack Snyder loves the slow mo, isn't it? You could do like the Hokuto no Shinken, like it can work.
Yeah, exactly. And just like when you look at 300 and then the different sizes of the characters, the way he gets the angles, like I can't remember the character's name, but no, I'm just thinking of the 300 movie, the
Persian god,
main Persian god versus the Spartan. Leonidas Persian god was someone else. I can't remember. Anyway, I just remember certain camera angles and certain visions that he used.
It looked like comic book.
It looked like the Fist of the North Star, where a character was just like 20 foot tall or whatnot. Versus, it's just those visions, those angles, which I feel like he can make it. He can make it work.
Yeah, no, I believe it. Like again, it's the right direction. It can be so sick.
It's like,
or like even like I a lot of my friends are like, you're crazy, but I always think a live action Naruto could work.
I've seen YouTubers make live action adaptations.
Yeah.
And they do such a good job, and I think if it falls into the right hand, it can possibly be done.
Possibly. Like when I saw Shang-Chi with their fight scenes, I'm like, bro, this is perfect for a Naruto. Like,
it can happen. It can happen, man.
Look, they can do. I mean, that obviously Dragon Ball was an epic flop, but they can do it better. Like you said, Shang-Chi, you see Man of Steel, the way
Matrix,
those fight scenes are done, you could definitely do it. You saw Captain Marvel when she's in a Super Saiyan mode, she looks like she's glowing, her hair's like that. They can make it work, but you just gotta put, like you said, people who care about the project to do it from beginning to end. And then you don't have to put a whole saga into one movie. Like you can
make it a show.
Make it a show, So you can build a whole saga.
They've done Airbender. The last
Airbender. They're doing that as well. Yeah.
Is that out? I don't know if it's out.
That's not out yet. New Year's first quarter, I think. Okay. And that looks very accurate as well. So
looks quite accurate as well. So let's see how that one. Plans out actually.
There's a lot of potential right now with like the adaptation scene right now. So I'm curious how it's gonna go. Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, look, there's opportunities, right? It's just if you get it right. If you get it wrong, then you fuck up. You could possibly fuck up the possibilities of a live action in the future. You know what I mean? Like a God of War, a live action will be amazing. But if you fuck up the first one, you're gonna have to wait a long time for you to try again. Do you know what I mean? Like it's gotta be on point. Do it like as a fan. Like this is the way it's supposed to be done. And if you do it right and you please the fans and you keep respect to the original, people will watch it. You know what I mean?
The Last of Us. I mean, the Last of Us TV show and the game. There was a lot of comparisons with the game and the show, and they got a lot of things quite accurate, man. Spot on as well. And I think that's why fans were happy with it, man.
Cool, guys. Well, look, we've been talking for a while, and I feel like we could talk for ages or whatnot. But it is getting when I say late, even for me, it's getting late. My bedtime's coming up soon, and I think I've been hit with COVID, man. I didn't say I've been feeling freaking ill, mad cough and whatnot. I lost my taste.
Right next to
good, bro. Just get it. I lost my taste and smell. But anyway, need to hit the bed and whatnot. But it's good to catch up. This was supposed to be a God of War review, but we ended up geeking out. So you know what? This is gonna be a geek out session that we'll just add to the podcast. But I think we could do more of this when we all finish Valhalla. Let's do it.
I mean, you probably finish it in 2 years, but
yeah, it probably might take me 2 years. But yeah, let's catch up. If we can work out timing, we can always try and catch up.
Yeah.
I know Ash, you can't a lot of times, but Yusuf, we'll try and catch up more if we can about be it video games or whatever. But I think there's a lot. Definitely want to get involved. We'll talk about the BMAs and doing the live recording reactions. The next one's in mid-January or so we'll try and figure that out because I really enjoyed that. That was really fun. Cool. All right. Well, on that note, guys, we're out. Thanks for watching, subscribing, all that good stuff. Happy New Year to everyone. Check out Yusuf, man, my guy and his animation, man. See what I'm saying? He's so creative. He can do animation like without even doing anything.
Oh, what can I say?
Check out Yusuf's Instagram and YouTube. He's got 2 YouTube. Bro, shout yourself out. What's your handles and everything?
Oh, YK2K Illustrations and YK2K Studios.
Check that out. He's on his martial art journey as well. And cool. We're out.
Cool.
Thanks, guys. Peace.